Hello and welcome to a brand new Parry's Pickups. We just seem to be churning these out at the moment, and we've got plenty more games to talk about in this week's episode. I'll start off with the game that I've just been playing this morning, and that is The Bigs. This is a baseball game for the Wii. Okay, so we're in the territory of sports games now. I know not the most popular genre and certainly not the most collectible. I was interested, however, in owning a baseball game for the Wii. I saw this one at a reasonably cheap price. Probably a little bit more expensive here in Denmark than it is in the UK, for instance. But for 30 kroner, I thought I'd pick it up. So my first impressions weren't so great, actually. I found it to be difficult to get to grips with. But I think that was more that the tutorial wasn't that well put together and was a little bit confusing. But it was immediately apparent there was a lot of depth to this game. This isn't just like Wii Sports Baseball at all. There's a lot more depth into it, as you'd expect from a game that is based on the sport. But the thing with this, it says that on the back of the box, Epic Arcade Baseball Action. And from that I expected quite simplistic controls. Now there's quite a lot to learn here. You can throw the ball or pitch the ball in many different ways. They all involve some sort of different wrist action. So, of course, it's got motion controls, as you would expect. This game was released 2007, to give you some idea of the time frame this was released in. So, do that for a straight sort of throw, and then do that, but then twist your wrist at the end to do a certain other kind, or other way, counterclockwise or clockwise. I'm not sure, honestly, what you gain from the different types of throws, because I'm not that familiar with baseball, but they're there should you want to do them. They all involve also holding down the A button and releasing it when you want to, when you've got the desired power, sort of like a golf game in that respect. And you can do even more to your throw depending on when you release the A button. If you get it in a white area, you do a certain type of throw. Get it into a green area, you do a certain type of throw, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it was okay. Got into that eventually. Moved on to the fielding, which is a case of pointing in the right direction with the nunchuck. This uses remote and nunchuck. And doing this to simulate running. That works pretty well. Throwing the ball to the other, players is quite easy, and you throw. It's a case of Wii remote that way or that way and releasing the A button. When I say fielders, I didn't actually mean fielders. I meant baseball. The players, the batters who are going around the different bases. Fielding is slightly different. You have free movement with your nunchuck. And if you want to jump for a ball, you do a similar motion like this, jerk it to the right or left, or wherever the ball is, to jump for it. I found I could just easily run to the ball I wanted to get. So anything to relieve some strain on my wrist was quite desirable, because this game does demand that you flick it with a certain momentum, especially if you want to hit hard with the bat. You know, and you do feel after a while, and you throw into the other player, it's going to do your wrist in, this game is. Just as a warning, a repetitive strain injury warning, this game will probably, you'll feel it eventually. So, what do I think of it on the whole? I think the tutorial's not the most intuitive tutorial I've ever used, but after a bit of messing around, I did get to grips with the game. And I have to say, as I finished the tutorial, I was quite enjoying the game, and I think I understood it. I think this would be reasonably difficult to introduce to someone else, because you want to play it multiplayer. You would have to explain quite a lot, I think, and if you're not that familiar with baseball or video games or the Wii remote, then this stick to Wii Sports. But if you want a little bit more depth in your baseball game, then this actually is fairly robust. I would say that the visuals aren't particularly nice to look at. but you know, really nice looking games on Wii can be hard to come by. There are certainly some really good lookers on the Wii, but this, I wouldn't say it's particularly amazing in the graphics department, nor would I say it's particularly bad. So if you really want a baseball game, this is the only one I've played. I think it does the job sufficiently. Just spend a little time getting to grips with the controls first, because there's a lot to take in and a lot of strain on the old wrist. The next game is also a sports game. It is Virtua Tennis 4, which was the last version of Virtua Tennis to be released, as far as I know, back in 2011, I think. So what better place to start Virtua Tennis than with the latest edition? If you're not familiar with the series, this comes very fully featured. So if you can find this for an affordable price, this may just be the one to go for, because the core tennis gameplay in all of them is very similar, if not identical. Last Virtua Tennis game I probably played, I thought was Virtua Tennis 2. It turns out it was actually Virtua Tennis 4 on the Xbox 360. I already own this game. And I did not realise it because the copy I bought for the 360 was digital. And all the menus were in purple and everything. So I got the idea, Virtua Tennis 4, that's the purple one. I see this one for PS3, sorry. Thinking, okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind a Virtua Tennis game on PS3, great series. I've got the purple one, so this is red. Oh, I haven't got this one. Now, all the menus are purple. This cover is very misleading. There's nothing red in this game. All the menus are purple. Just so you don't get caught out. So, but it's a great tennis game. This version has Wii controls. It does 3D. It's got extra mini games that the 360 version doesn't have, and some extra players as well. So that's pretty cool. It's got a World Tour mode where you can create your own player. I'm not sure if that was a new addition for this particular entry or not, but it's a welcome one. I made one that looked reasonably like me, although I forgot to give him a beard. I don't think you can give him a beard, actually. They weren't the most, again, robust sort of character creation controls, but they were good enough to make something that reasonably resembled me, without a beard and without glasses. But yeah, it's got so the World Tour mode is interesting because rather than just play through matches, you move across a map. It reminds me actually of Virtua Fighter 4, I think, and I think it was maybe the second version of Virtua Fighter 4. Can't remember. Was it 3? It's one of them. It's a very Sega thing. You're on a map and you move from certain places. Some places have nothing to do in, so you go, okay, well, move on to the next one. And I was finding, oh, yeah, do a training here, do another type of training here, and I was like, well, where's the matches? And eventually, after going through several places on the map, I was able to find one that gave me the option to play a match of tennis, and a very fine match of tennis it was as well. So it's an incredibly easy game to pick up and play. It's one of the more simplistic tennis games on the market, which is no bad thing. Plays really well. You've got those added PS3 features, so yeah, you could do much worse than pick up Virtua Tennis 4 if you're after a tennis game on the PlayStation 3. Not much more to say about that one, really. This is a game I haven't played yet, but I'm eager to. It's for the 3DS, and it's Epic Mickey Power of Illusion. Now, this was released around the time of Epic Mickey 2, which I have been playing recently. No, actually, I haven't. I've been playing the original Epic Mickey on the Wii recently, because if you remember, I picked up Epic Mickey 2 quite some time ago for the PS3, and was like, well, I never finished the first one, so I went back to that the other day and was quite enjoying it. Now, I've also got this one to play, which is a 2D platformer. And from what I can tell, it's similar to Castle of Illusion. It's also called Power of Illusion. So, having not played it yet, I don't know for certain, but this seems to be trying to recapture the magic of the Mega Drive classic Castle of Illusion, which was remade and released on PS3 and I think Xbox 360, which is really good. I completed that. It's a really good game. I know it disappeared from the online stores for a while, but I think it's available again now. So do snap that one up. This one, I'm not sure if it's great yet, but it does feature a lot of classic Disney characters in it. And let's hope that the developers, Dream Rift, by the sound, never heard of them, have managed to create a good 2D Mickey game. We'll see. Next is a 360 game, and that one is Quake 4. Long been curious about Quake 4. And I wasn't sure how it was going to hold up against the rest of them. We've got a poster that's falling down right here. Excuse me, because it's going to fall, and that won't be very good for the video. Right, back to Quake. So, but then I saw it was developed by Raven, and quite clearly on the front they proudly state that Raven was involved. Raven did quite a lot of games, including the Jedi Knight series, or at least the later Jedi Knight games, the Star Wars first-person shooters, and later on Jedi Academy, which was more of a third-person lightsaber type combat game. From what I can tell, I've only just started playing that one. So the pedigree's good there. Raven know what they're doing in terms of first-person shooters. This apparently includes Quake 2 as well. It comes on 2 discs. So that's kind of cool. Maybe Quake 2's on the bonus disc along with a making of. I haven't been able to play this because I haven't got a 360 here in Denmark. So as far as I can tell, it's not backwards compatible on Xbox One. So I'm going to have to wait a little while to play this one. Not sure if it was released on PS3 or not. It doesn't state it's a exclusive Xbox game. That would be interesting to find out. But there we are, Quake 4. We have no opinion yet because we haven't played it. Next up we have MotoGP 15 for the Xbox One. This was really cheap, about 60 kroner, 6-7 quid. And it's really good. I'd say if you want a superbike motorcycle racing game, then this is a good one. It gets my seal of approval. I really enjoyed what I played of it. I don't know what else to say about it. It does the job, and it's not the most recent one. As you can see, it's 15. It's probably released in 2014. Well, it says 15 on the back, so. But it's based on probably the 2014 season of MotoGP. Yeah, I like it. There we go. Some of these reviews aren't very in-depth, but that one didn't seem to, it gives you several difficulty levels at the beginning, and I found one that was really suitable for my skill level. I didn't go full simulation, but I didn't go also to the easiest mode. I found a nice intermediate middle ground with the controls, and I really got to grips with it very quickly. So even if you're not familiar with motorbike racing games, this one is accessible and a lot of fun also. So nice graphics too. And finally, in this week's episode, we have perhaps the biggest bargain of them all, maybe one of the more interesting games in this episode, because we have had a few sports games, and I know, they're 10 a penny, and maybe not that interesting to a lot of viewers, but as I swig my cup of tea, I found a real bargain. This was actually, admittedly, a few weeks ago, but because I sent the last episode around PlayStation and the previous episode around the Nintendo games, this has had to wait, but Fallout 4, and you may notice a big green, yellow, cloud-like sticker on the front that says 50 kroner. That's about 5-6 British pounds. Brand new. I'm not really a fan of Fallout, I'll have to admit. I never got to grips with Fallout 3, which is interesting, included on here as well. But for the price point, which was astounding, I'd have to be pretty stupid not to pick it up. Because this game was very well reviewed, and I feel like something I should try. I would not try it at £40, would not try it at 30, would not try it at 20, or not even try it at maybe 13. A nice $12.99 price point. No, but for half that, very, very happy to have picked this one up. So now I've shown you the physical evidence that it was actually only 50 kroner. So I shall unwrap this little game and give it a go. I imagine it takes up a lot of hard drive space. 40 gigabytes of storage is required for this particular title. Not so unusual nowadays with games. We're going to give that a shot soon when I find some time. Pretty into Dead Rising at the moment. Downloaded that the other day. I mentioned it on the podcast. If you check that out, tommatattack.com, you can find that podcast. You can also find us on iTunes. So yeah, if you're interested in the games I'm picking up and playing, and you want to hear a bit more about them, then do check out the podcast. It's available every week, nearly. So thanks again for checking out the video. Really hope you're still enjoying these. I'll keep doing them as long as I keep picking up more games. So until next time, bye for now.